been since we've had this view of the studio? Months. It has been months. I just cleaned off my desk this week. Sorry, I'm taking evaluation of like all of the things I have to drink on my desk. Cause yeah, that's where we're at. I think I have a bug bite in the back of my head and it like really itches. I also hurt my my gums with a very vigorous toothbrushing action, and so if I'm like scratching my head or like touching my chin, that's why. Yeah. Okay. Centering my thoughts. So I thought that because we are halfway through the year, I guess technically over halfway since this is like the last Thursday in July, that we would kind of do like a mid-year goal catch-up thing, like review the goals that I set at the beginning of the year. I rewatched that video because I couldn't remember exactly what all of my goals were, and I meant to write it all down so I'd have something to refer to. Did not happen. I mean, I do have them all on my corkboard still, so I can like I'll use that as a base toucher thing to touch base. Yeah. Okay. Ugh, I'm like sitting on my dress, so I was like awkwardly. Anyway, you guys don't care. By the way, I am obsessed with this dress. I love these sleeves. I love this fit. This dress will probably be included in the fall pattern line if I can get it patterned and written and do the write-up in time. It's kind of what I'm thinking because it'll fit so well with like the lookbook video that I'm planning. It'll just be super cute. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, will this help? I can't talk to you guys like this, but that feels really good on my chin, on my gums. Maybe I'll ice it when I'm done with the live. Okay, yeah, definitely gonna ice this when I'm done talking to all of you. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. So I got commissioned by my bestie to make a crochet sweater. That sounds super cute. Okay. I feel like my ADD is everywhere today. I need to get an official diagnosis so I can get meds. Like this is, I can't live my life like this. Anyway, you guys aren't here. I mean, you're what I keeps like getting self-conscious. I'm like, you guys aren't here to like listen to me rant, but like really you are, because that's all I do when we go live. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about the goals. The first two goals that I set were number goals, and they're completely out of my control, and I knew that they were when I set them. I just thought, you know what, it would be cool if I could hit these numbers this year. Those numbers were 10,000 subscribers and 5,000 followers on Instagram, and I did that based on, I did like the number disparity based on like things that I had seen from like my friends' Instagrams. On like usually half your subscribers is the number of followers you have on Instagram. So that's why I set those numbers that way. I am just over a quarter of the way to 10,000. I think I'm at like, I don't know if I'm in the 3,000 yet. I think I am. Should we boot up the computer just to look at a number? I think yes. I will keep rambling while this boots up though. Yeah, so 10,000 subscribers. I am over a quarter of the way there, not expecting to hit it this year. Mostly because I'm not producing the type of content that would allow me to have like a wider reach, if that makes sense. So if I had like videos like the princess dress that performed very well and brought in a lot of new subscribers lined up for every day for the rest of the year, I very well could hit that goal. Like that would be feasible, especially because numbers tend to compound. All right, let me put in the password and pull up the internet. But yeah, I don't have videos like that for the rest of the year. I have more like cottagecore inspired dresses, like casual day dresses. I don't have any like big builds. I do have 2 more Fabric Mart collaborations planned for the rest of the year, and those theoretically could be bigger builds like the princess dress and bring in a lot. But realistically, I'm not expecting to hit that 10,000 subscriber goal. That's not what I want. Oh, I'm almost at 4,000 subscribers. I am like, okay. Wow. I really, this tells you I don't really pay attention to my numbers. Like, I pay attention to like how well the videos do, because I'm trying to like come up with a formula of like what makes a good video, what's interesting for people to watch, like what causes people to like drop off from my videos, and what causes like in the analytics it's called like a continuous segment, when people watch a specific part of your video for a continuous period of time, and I think they start tracking that when it's like over 2.5 minutes. Excuse me. So I start looking for those, and I'm trying to like work on my editing and my videoing skills to make it so I have more interesting videos that perform better watch time wise, because in the long term that'll lead to like the growth that I'm looking for. So, but I actually haven't been paying attention to like my actual subscriber count for a while. I feel like once I hit that 1,000 subscribers for getting monetized, I just kind of stopped caring as much. And I started looking for trends on like how to make a better video. So, but yeah, we are, the official number that my studio is telling, like back studio is telling me, is 3,841, which is really good, considering that my channel is only 2 years old. So I will take it. All right, settling in. Cool. There is really nothing I'm doing Instagram wise to make sure that like I'm growing a following there. I'm kind of just counting on like, as my YouTube channel grows, so will my Instagram. I don't want notifications. Thank you. All right, the fan will probably get really loud on this computer, so let's just shut it off because I found the number that I wanted, and I don't think there's anything else that I would need it for. Okay. So yeah, that's like the numbers goal that was like really out of my control, but I still think it would be cool to like maybe hit that by the end of the year. I'm not putting much stock into that being a reality though. So. Yep. Okay. The second goal that is out of my control, but I have a lot of influence over, was to have my YouTube channel be self-sustaining by the end of the year. And when I made this goal, I didn't think that scrappy patterns would be a thing. I was just thinking that like I would promote things like Patreon and Ko-fi and work really hard to get good videos, and like AdSense would pick up. Like, scrappy patterns wasn't even a thought when I made this video. I think I made the video in November, and then I scheduled it to be live in January. That sounds like that would have been my schedule. Anyway, so I did up all of the math on everything that I have from my Patreon and everything from Scrappy Patterns and everything from AdSense. And guess what, guys? With all like I tallied up all of the income that I had last year from everything, from like all of the commissions that I did to be able to fund my YouTube channel and everything, with everything coming directly from my YouTube channel and from like building this. I have already surpassed the income that I made last year. And like I don't want to call it self-sustaining yet, because like I've had 6 patterns in every pattern release, and from here on out I'm going to probably have 3 or 4, which will like decrease the potential income from returning buyers. Like there's a whole like thing to it, but like I am sitting in a very comfortable place where if I keep being frugal like I have been, and like stay within my like per video budget that I have set, we are very close to self-sustaining. And like I can't tell you guys like how happy that makes me, and like it's just it's exciting. Like you listen to like how to build YouTube channels and like what to expect from things, and it usually takes people I think 3 to 5 years to be to that self-sustaining point. And I don't know if that point is like, oh, I'm self-sustaining, but I'm also like living off of this income and I'm like just self-sustaining that way, or if it's just like I'm self-sustaining this as a business. Like I don't know where like their benchmark for that is. There's no way I could live off of this income, but we are in a very fortunate financial situation where we don't have to live off of my income. So like it's just I'm able to like refunnel all of this like back into building my channel and work and like buying materials for projects. So it's just the fact that like it's kind of paying for itself, or has the potential to do that by the end of the year, is just so exciting for me. And I just like thank you to all of you for making this little dream of mine like become a reality, because it's so cool to me. Anyway, like this is something I've been wanting to do, like some sort of business entrepreneurship has been something that I've been talking about since I was like 16 and set my 10-year plan. So like little 16-year-old me set like so many goals, and because of starting this YouTube channel I'm able to see them, like being my own boss and starting a pattern line and like all these little things that I've wanted to do my entire life I'm able to do, and it's through the support of you guys. So like I know that like that's like a sappy YouTuber thing, but it's like it's true. Like if you guys weren't here I wouldn't be able to do this. So I'm gonna be sappy and just thank you, because I'm really grateful. Okay, I filled this with more ice than water. Big mistake. Okay, I mean at least it's cold. I am overheating a little bit. Like I don't know. Oh, I probably scratched myself. That's probably what that is. All right. But I do feel myself overheating a bit. I could turn my fan on. I'm trying not to. I feel like that'll throw the audio. And I like there's planes and like all cars and traffic and whatever. We don't need to turn a fan on top of that. Later in the year though, we might. Okay, point. Projects I wanted to get done. I wanted to fill out the rest of my historical wardrobe this year. I feel like that was a really good goal to have. Up until 2 weeks ago, I guys talked to you guys about the event that I went to that kind of helped me fall in love with my historical fashion and research again. Up until that point, I really just did not have any desire to be like playing in historical fashion. But now that I've like remembered that goal, I think it would be fun to like go back and do that. But I'm also planning on like next year really diving deep into how to build your own garment from the specific time period that I study. So we're looking at like 10 different garments, right? In this time period. And so I think I want to save it for that, and so we can talk about like fit and construction and shape and all of that within that context. And I feel like doing any of that now would be premature, if that makes sense. Especially since I really want to take my time and make this into a good series for you guys. So it's still on the list, but I think that's going to get like pushed to next year. So I also wanted to do a blue velvet Venetian. I started on that dress. I realized I did not have enough yardage. It's not a fabric that I can get more yardage in. Oh, excuse me. So I might figure out what I can do with that fabric for like a different project. And then I'll just keep my eye out for some more blue velvet. Because it's just, I don't want to mismatch the velvets, and like, it's just, if I had another yard, I'd be able to do it, but I don't. And I don't want to sacrifice the fullness of the skirt for the sake of just getting, like, I don't want to sacrifice my vision for this dress by like cornering myself in by the lack of yardage that I have, if that makes sense at all. So that is going to just get put on the back burner. I still love that blue Venetian dress. I will make it one day. So, all right. Style, lookbook videos. Okay. So when I was originally thinking about it, I was thinking like, oh, well, I'll like take you guys through all my handmade pieces, and we did a few of those videos, but I honestly didn't really like them or the format of them, which is why we haven't like continued on with like looking at all of my dresses and like all of that. Did I do a dress video? I think I filmed one and I didn't like how it turned out, and so I didn't finish editing it. I think that's what happened with that one. Yeah, but seasonal lookbooks I think will become like a staple on my channel, just because they're so fun to like put together and to mash together, and I am constantly making things and constantly like making new clothes and everything, and so I feel like that's something that I could just put together and like do. It's like takes me a day to film, it takes me 2 days to edit, like all things considering it doesn't take that long to produce lookbook videos. So like those are a lot of fun. I didn't know how I was going to be putting things together or how well they would do when I made that goal at the beginning of the year, but it's actually been a lot of fun and I absolutely love it, and I want to continue. And I might switch up the format so we're not in my entryway. We might like go out into the parks and things. I've just got to like figure out timing and whatnot. The entryway is obviously like the easiest place for me to do all of this filming. So, all right. My hair was in a cute little bun last night, but now it's like falling out. So, yeah. Alrighty. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions? I feel like I'm just like throwing word vomit at you. Have any questions on what we've talked about so far? Comments? You got knock knock jokes for me? I'll play a knock knock joke. It just hurts. The little bit of pressure and like the cold water has definitely been helping, but aggressively brushing your teeth is like good for getting them clean, not good when you misjudge where your things are. Oh, okay. So let's move on, since I don't see any comments, to the Hobbit dress. So I feel like after I made the overwhelm video, I really tried to work on the Hobbit dress. What are you starting next? Okay, I'll answer that question when we're done talking about goals. Yeah, the Hobbit, after I made the overwhelm video, I really tried to work on the Hobbit dress. And eventually it just got to the point where I decided, you know what, it just needs to go into permanent timeout. It has its own spot in the Closet of Doom, which I've cleaned up, so it's no longer the Closet of Doom. I can actually walk into my walk-in closet. But yeah, it's like officially put away, tucked away, until I get to the point where like I want to work on it again. I'm not gonna pull it out. I am a firm believer that you cannot force creativity, and in a project that is as creative and like intricate as the Hobbit dress, I feel like I can't force that. So I'm not going to. Yeah, the lives that we did at the beginning of the year where I was working on the Hobbit dress, I was really trying to keep working, and it just, my heart wasn't in it, and I don't want to work on a project that my heart isn't in and that doesn't spark joy, because then that doesn't translate into a good video, and then like that just doesn't, like, I would rather work on things that I'm passionate about and want to work on. So I do hope that one day I will be excited about the Hobbit dress again and we can keep going. It's not right now. So educational content is probably in the same boat as, making educational content was another goal that I had for the year. It's probably in the same boat as, what's it called? Finishing the historical dresses, mostly because like it's all the same topic, and so like I said, I really want to like be able to dive deep into all of it, and I feel like I can do that more justice if I like have it as a planned out series. So I'm going to be putting work into that as soon as I finish 2021 content, which should be the end of October at the latest. I'm going to start making a big push for doing more research and fleshing out the Italian Renaissance series that I want to do next year. So there's that. I think the last goal that I had on the list was to do a 12 Days of Christmas, which I'm going to call the 12 Days of Joe-Miss, because why not? I have a friend who's an artist who made me like the cutest Christmas Joe cartoon, which is going to be like at my little end screen for all of those videos, and I'm so excited. I did a lot of filming last Christmas when we were with family, and like just when I could easily buy things like Christmas decorations on sale. I did a lot of filming then, so I have, I think, about 4 to 6 of those videos filmed, and but they're not edited because I wanted to edit them all at the same time. And so I need to start working on, I think the last few that I have are like a makeup look and a hairstyle and like making another dress, because I already have one dress that I made, so making a second one. And then just like fun little random videos. So I think my mom wanted to do baking together when we meet up in September for our family trip. And so like we'll just have fun little holiday themed videos. They're not all going to be sewing, obviously, but I just wanted to throw like a lot of content at you guys in December just because I thought it would be kind of fun. So I think I have half of those filmed. I need to start editing them and then filming the other half. I'm kind of waiting for Christmas decorations to come back out, so that way I can get a few more things to like make the studio look all nice and cozy. So that's my thought on that. I'm honestly so excited for Joe-Miss. And I'm like want to make this a tradition like going forward because I just think it's so fun. For those of you guys who are new, typically last year I took the month of December off. And so from Thanksgiving to the first week in January was when I started coming back and doing lives again. And so I think I'm going to start doing that and just making that like a yearly thing. It was really kind of nice to just like completely take the pressure off and like allow myself to just be creative when I wanted to be creative. And I feel like the holidays, when we're like typically traveling and like seeing family a lot, is like a good time to do that. I mean, holidays are stressful anyway, so like not having to worry about like going live and like being present is definitely like a good part of that. So yeah. I mean, last year during December was when I made my 2 dolls, I think. Or was that 2019? I don't remember when I made the my miniature dresses for my dolls. But yeah, taking December off is like gonna become a tradition. All right, catching up on the comments. I thought I was gonna burp. Nope. Okay. Maybe? Okay. Whatever. My next project. Are you asking about my next big project or my next project in general? Cause that's a difference. I've talked about it before where I have like smaller fluff projects and then I have my big builds. And recently I've just been working on a lot of fluff projects because I haven't wanted to do a big build. But I'm starting to like feel that itch of like I want a build. I want a fancy thing. So I'll just answer both. My next fluff projects are just going to be more wardrobe items. I have a couple more dresses to make. And then, yeah. Oh, let's look at the whiteboard. I have 1 dress to make. I have 2 button-ups to make. My primary sewing machine crapped out on me. So I need to take it to get serviced, and until it gets serviced, I can't do buttonholes. I do have a backup machine that has been sitting in my garage for 2 years. I don't even know if it runs, so I need to like take a look at that and figure it out. If so, then I can continue on with the projects with my backup machine, but I haven't had the mental energy to deal with that. So there's that. But I have 1 dress, 2 button-ups. Wow, okay. I'm getting very close to the end of my project list, which also means I'm getting very close to the end of 2021 content, but yeah. Yeah, so I have like maybe 5 or 6 fluff projects left to do on the whiteboard. I think my next big build, it's not really a big build, but it will be like a build, it'll take time and precision, is going to be the Vanellope coat, Vanellope project, which I'm kind of excited about. I do have a link in the description to the Ko-fi if you want to help fund that. I would be grateful to get your help with that. And I think the next build after that is going to be the Eleanor to Toledo pomegranate dress. It's currently in my stories on Instagram. If you also just look it up, like Eleanor to Toledo pomegranate dress, it'll pop up. It is like a white satin with gold and black embroidery on it. It is absolutely stunning. I found a place where I can get a print of it. That dress is going to be expensive. It's going to be the most expensive dress I have made to date. And so I think once Vanellope gets funded, I'll put that up as the next goal. I do have, let's see. My mom did tell me that she would throw some money at it because she wants me to see this she wants to see me make this dress. That's what I was trying to say. She wants to see this dress come to life because it's one that I've been looking at since I started my historical costuming journey. Like the pomegranate dress and the burial dress are like the 2 that I'm just like, yes, I will have those one day. And so I can get it printed onto a satin fabric, and it'll just be great. I mean, I'm actually really excited about it. And it's going to be able to give me like another step in my experimental archaeology with what the foundations and layers and everything with could have looked like for Eleanor de Toledo's wardrobe. So we'll talk about all of that in video. I'll have like dedicated videos for all of that. So I should have put down a coaster because my cup is sweating. Got it. I don't like it when my desk gets wet because then it like gets gross. Because I work with fiber, like fiber sheds, and so like everything gets like dusty, but it's like a furry dust. I don't know how to explain like fabric dust to you guys. But like when my desk gets wet, it all kind of like sticks and then it gets gross. Anyway, it's probably more detail than you guys wanted. But yeah. Alright, someone sent me a joke. I'm worried about my calendar. My calendar. So worried, why do you ask? Its dates are numbered. I love it. That's a good one. Okay. Yeah. Also, upcoming projects for next year, I really want to do the Greek Gods project. And I have been getting ads for fabric because it's just what the algorithm sends me. And I keep getting this ad for this like gray and copper floral fabric. And I'm like, that would look gorgeous as a Hades dress. And I'm just like, oh, I'm not a big fan of that price tag on that dress, but I'm in love with that fabric, so probably we'll do it anyway. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really excited about like the Greek Gods one. That should be a lot of fun. I'm running out of water. I knew what I should have refilled this one before the live, but I got distracted. Because I was reading. That's a life update for you guys. So, I'll probably make a video about this, but I really want to talk about like my mental health and sewing and like what has been happening kind of behind the scenes in the past couple months. But long story short, my mental health has taken like a complete 180, and I have started, I mean, I'm still an anxious mess. That'll never go away. But like I've started rediscovering hobbies that I have loved but have like left behind. And so I'm doing things like reading again. And I haven't had the desire to sit down and read a book for almost 5 years now, which, you know, in the past 2 weeks, no, in the past like less than a week, I got my library card on Monday. Because with a library card, some libraries you can connect to an app called Overdrive where you can like basically, it's like an online library where you can read ebooks and listen to audiobooks. And so I got a library card expressly for that purpose. And the husband laughed at me, and because I came home from the library, and he's like, well, what books did you get? And I pointed to my phone and I said, I got this app. Anyway. I asked my friends for suggestions on books, and they sent me a couple, so I have some holds placed with the library, and those will be coming in. I actually got one in, but I like fell asleep listening to it, because I've started playing books instead of TV shows when I go to try to take a nap, and it's actually been easier to fall asleep, because like when tones shift or like something gets more intense, sometimes it would like wake me up. But like the constant tone of someone reading an audiobook just like helps me stay asleep. Anyway, it also might be why I've been sleeping for an hour and a half. Taking hour and a half naps all this week. but it's also probably just because my body needs it. Anyway, I started listening to one of my friend's recommendations, which is the Bloody Jack series. It was Lady Rebecca Fashions suggested that one to me, and she's talked about it a lot when we talk about books, and she loves the series, and so I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try, and I started listening to it, and I fell asleep, so I've got to like rewind the audiobook and listen to it. But it just sounds like this wonderful, like, female-powered adventure. Anyway, I've been re-listening to the Ranger's Apprentice series. It's a book series that I loved reading when I was in high school. I want to listen to the Royal Ranger, which is like a continuation of the Ranger's Apprentice series. And then Brother Band is like the branch off series. All written by the same author, who I think is fantastic. But anyway, I've been consuming about a book every other day because I'm just playing them while I like work, and it's been a lot of fun to like revisit these stories that I love and to like do all that. So that being said, if you guys have recommendations for me, leave them in the comment of the video, not the live chat, because the live chat goes away, and I want to be able to like see that again. I want to be able to revisit your recommendations. So if you will do that, I prefer to stay in like the young adult realm, mostly just because I don't like reading adult content. Yeah, not my thing. And young adult stories are like really kind of fantastic. Like Marie Lu, if you guys haven't read a Marie Lu book, highly recommend it. They're awesome. So yeah, if you guys have book recommendations, like leave them down below. I am running out of things to listen to as I work, and I'm kind of loving hearing stories again, and not like, it's just because it's an audiobook and not like a video. Like I've been watching a lot of content, it like takes away that element of like, I'm just going to sit here and watch this, and it's actually helping me be more productive. So kind of awesome. Anyway, like comment on the live, not in the live chat, if you guys have a book recommendation for me, or even an author recommendation. I take those too. Like, I typically don't give book recommendations. I give author recommendations when I recommend things. So yeah. Did I miss any comments? Nope. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take this out because it's just bothering me. Cool. Look at how wavy my hair is. This is my natural hair texture. It makes a lot of people jealous. There you go. This is what it, like this side is what it looks like more often than not. This is also day 2 hair. So if you listen to people who do like the curly wavy hair things, they're like, oh, this is day 1 hair and it looks fabulous. And then they're like, oh, day 3 hair and it still looks fabulous. That's when you know that their hair is actually really good. Mine's starting to fall out. But I don't take super good care of it either, so that's part of it. I do like it though. I like it for when I go and take cottagecore pictures. I feel like it gives like a really good texture to things. And then I don't have to heat treat my hair to like give it substance. Anyway. All right. I think that is all I have to ramble about today. We could talk about this dress, but I like gush over it a lot in the video I made for it, which I rough cut today. But it's just super cute. It's my friend's dress. It has like their couch and then the fountain, and I love, is that Phoebe's? Yeah. I love how it has Phoebe's taxi and then like Monica's frame and the coffee house. There's a lobster on it too, which I think is absolutely hilarious. But it's also like not immediately recognizable. It's like, oh, that's Friends. It's like, if you know the series, you get the dress. It's also a really good pattern. I did a lot of like fitting and stuff for this pattern to make it fit exactly the way that I wanted it to. And I absolutely am in love with this sleeve shape. Like I might, depending on how much fabric I have left, which I should be able to see. Where did I put it? put it. I'm looking for the leftover Star Wars fabric. Oh, right here. I'm going to recut the sleeves for the Star Wars dress so that way they're the same as this, because I love this sleeve shape and I'm not entirely happy with the sleeve shape for that. Yes, this is enough. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, that'll be a project for later. Because then I'll have two super cute dresses with like, so I love this Queen Anne neckline. And then I love the sleeve shape. So I love that your husband noticed the sleeves. Yeah, so we got done eating dinner and I was like, had finished the dress right before dinner. So we got done eating dinner and I'm like, I'm gonna go put on my new dress. And so I come into my studio, I put on the dress and I go and show him and he looks at me and the first thing that he says is, well, that's a new sleeve shape. Usually he doesn't pick up on dress details. Like, he has no clue. I'm gonna like knock this over. Let's put this over here. Like, he has no clue. He just like looks at it and he's like, oh, it looks like all your other dresses. But he picked up on the sleeve shape of this one and it just made me even more happy. He's starting to understand like the nuances of clothing. But we're also talking about the man who has like 3 styles of shirts in like multiple colors. Like, he's the type of person that's like, he finds the brand, the fit, and the fit of something that he really likes, and then he buys multiples of it in different colors. And like, honestly, if I started making clothing for him, I would probably need 4 or 5 different patterns. Yeah, so 3 for his shirts and 2 for pants. Technically only 1 for pants because he wears slacks and shorts. That's all he wears. So I would need 4 different patterns, and then we would just make them out of different fabrics. Like, his wardrobe is so minimal. It is ridiculous. I don't understand. He just doesn't care. That's why. But yeah, the fact that he like noticed the sleeves and he was like, oh, those are different. Those are kind of fun. I was like, yes, thank you. Anyway, I love him. Love that he picked up on that. Okay. Yeah, so I am actually really excited that there's enough of the Star Wars fabric left that I can redo the sleeves. I think that'll just make me love the dress more. I mean, I already really like the Star Wars dress. I think it's super cute. It fits really well. But like, this sleeve shape is just, love it. So I'm probably gonna do that. Oh, I told you guys that my primary machine has given up on me. My primary machine is a sewing machine that my mom got for $10 at a yard sale because she was tired of me using hers. So we got my machine my senior year of high school. So it's been almost a decade since that I've had my machine. I have put a lot of miles on my machine. I've been very rough to it. It's been very good to me. The fact that it's taken this long for it to give up is kind of surprising. I expected it to start going a year, maybe 2 ago. So I honestly think that it's fixable. I just need to take it in to get serviced. And I found a couple local places that should be getting done next week. I still need to call. Oh, excuse me. I'm the typical millennial though and hates making phone calls. So that's what's holding me up. In the meantime, I am sewing everything with my Treadle machine. I have been looking for an excuse to pull out my Treadle machine. Excuse me. Now I'm burping. I've been looking for an excuse to pull out my Treadle machine for a long time because I sewed a skirt on it when I first got it and I fell in love. There's something about like all of the mechanics that go into a Treadle that just make it so fun to work with. The only thing that's like holding me back is I can't do buttonholes on my Treadle because it's a straight stitch only. I also can't wind bobbins currently, but I got the part. It should be coming next week, so that way I can wind bobbins on my Treadle starting next week. But like, I figured out all the details. Like, I know how to adjust the tension. I know how to adjust the stitch length. It's like, it's a beautiful machine. when I figure everything out, I might like give you guys, we might work with my Treadle on a live, and I'll like tell you all the like funny little quirks that I found about working with the Treadle. So we might talk about that in a week or two. But yeah, I honestly think my Treadle machine might become my primary machine, and then I'll like pull out my modern machines when what's it called? I need to do buttonholes or zigzags or whatever. So I need to see if there's a place around here that does house calls to clean and tune an 1891 cabinet treadle we've got. Ooh. I don't know what date mine is. I think mine is like early 1900s, like 1900 to 1905. I need to double check with the serial number. If I really like the guy who works on my modern electric, I have an antique electric that needs rewired, and I might just throw money at the problem and get someone to rewire it for me. The place that I'm looking at going to is like a sewing machine and vacuum place, so I have high hopes that they'll be able to rewire it for me. But we'll see. That might not be something they do. But yeah, I do have a backup machine that you can actually see on the floor in the corner here. That's been sitting in my garage for like 2 years, and like I don't even know if it works. I got it from someone who was like doing a major de-stash, and they gave me like so much fabric it filled the back of my like giant vehicle. Like I couldn't see out the back. They gave me that much fabric. It was crazy. But then they also threw in the sewing machine because they didn't need it. So I need, if that machine works, then I will use it while my modern electric is getting worked on. And then I'd at least be able to finish the buttonholes on the shirt that I started on Tuesday and hopefully get that project done. So there's that. That's the update on the sewing machine saga. I am obsessed with sewing on my Treadle machine. This dress was completely sewn on my Treadle. I feel like I like learned so much in that process. Like the tension is something that I have to keep looking at, but like once it's set, like as long as you don't really mess with like the fabric thickness or anything, it's like solid. It's really kind of amazing just to see how, like, I don't know, there's just something magical about working with like that mechanical of a machine. Anyway, I love my Treadle. I've got a 1904 that was on the side of the road with cords cut. Oh no. My antique electric machine, before, when I was living in Virginia years ago, I worked in a studio where they like taught, it was a sewing studio that taught sewing lessons, and I was one of the teachers. And the lady who owned the studio came up to me one day when she was like stressed and like, you know when you stress clean? She was doing that to the entire studio. And she looked at me and she's like, do you want an antique machine? And I looked at her and I went, of course I want an antique machine. And she's like, then take this home with you. It doesn't work. I don't want it. So I've been carrying around this antique electric machine with me that just needed to get rewired. I played with it enough to get it working, and it's actually a really good solid machine. Once all of the wires are replaced, like it'll be a fantastic machine to work with. Yeah. But I've been carrying around this machine that I've only used for like maybe a month, because that's how long I felt safe using it. Yeah, it needs to get rewired, and then I think between my Treadle and my antique electric, it'll just be fun to have, like, be working with these antique machines. And I could totally see myself of like, if I want to enjoy the project, I will sew it on my Treadle, and if I want to like just like bust through a project, I could sew it on my antique machine. But like using these antique machines and making them my primary machines have like been a goal of mine for a while. So things just need to happen. I think I could also get like a buttonhole attachment for my antique electric. So it could sew buttonholes. Like that might be something that I would look into and play with. I know the closet historian is someone who I follow who has an antique machine, and she recently got one of those attachments. And like watching it go was the craziest thing ever. Like I don't understand how a straight stitch machine can make buttonholes. But I think that would be really interesting. And if like I could get that, then like I wouldn't need a modern machine. And that means less mechanical things to break down. These are things to think about. Because I sewed this dress with French seams on the treadle, so that way everything inside is finished. And it's just like, do I really need all of these like fancy modern machines? Plus it's just like this beautiful aesthetic in my studio right now, right? Here, I'll just turn you guys. I've been talking about this machine, but I haven't shown you it yet. We'll just turn you guys. So this is my treadle. It is, I think it's called a red eye is the paint job on it. And it's just like absolutely stunning. And it's just like having it out is just this beautiful like vintage historical aesthetic in my studio, and I'm just loving it. Absolutely loving it. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at. I think that's, I've rambled for like a solid 30 minutes. Apparently I have been missing human interaction because I've just felt the need to ramble. But yeah. Oh, let's put you guys back over here. Yeah, like I said, maybe in like a week or two, when I've had more time to play with my treadle and figure out all its quirks, we can do a live where we sew on the treadle. And like I can adjust things for you and like show you how the mechanics work, and it can be a lot of fun. Oh, excuse me. I do have a dress. Like one of those cottagecore muumuus. That's what I've been calling them. Like I wore last week. That has like the puffy sleeve and like the ruffles on the front. I mean ruffles on the bodice because they're on the front and the back. I do have a dress like that I want to sew. So maybe I'll sew that one on the treadle. I mean, if I'll have to sew it on the treadle until I get my machine fixed. Let's see. Okay, cool. If you guys have any more comments? Otherwise, we're just about out of time. And I'm just about out of water. I've been trying not to like guzzle this. I'm probably gonna refill it and then like guzzle it because I'm really thirsty. I think I've been dehydrated and that's why I've had a headache. Because the more water I drink, the more it goes away. Alright. Should we do a really quick recap? Really quick recap is I am doing decently on my goals for the year. Let's see, what else can we recap? I'm struggling today. I have wonderful goals and plans for next year. We talked about that last time. This little piece of hair needs to get tucked and aesthetically placed. Okay, cool. Modern electric machine is dead. I'm sewing on my treadle. I don't know. Alright, I'm just going to keep uselessly rambling. So, I'm going to say goodbye. There is a link to the Ko-fi if you want to throw money at the Vanellope project down below. I will see you guys on Monday for a new video and live next week. Bye, friends!